here's a little fun thing that I found with the study that I was involved with about a year ago, is we found really what the numbers right here that Lauren's sharing with us is that you saw that roughly about 50–60% of people are on desktop and webmail, and then about 40% of folks were using mobile devices. But the real interesting fact, when then we looked at clicks on devices, even though mobile was 40% of all the devices that were being used to view the email, it only accounted for 10% of all clicks that were occurring. Okay.
Yeah.
And that really goes to what Lauren's talking about. And really what I'm going to start talking about a little bit is that you really do need to take some time when you're thinking about designing click-through rates to consider all the devices and different platforms that you're on. Because especially nowadays, we look at another part of the study that I was involved in, and we saw that 1 out of every 5 people looked at the same email on 2 or more devices. Okay, so you really need to take that into consideration. And I was always surprised, and I've worked with, at this point, thousands of clients over the years, but especially the past 3 or 4 years, I'm shocked when people are showing low click-through rates and they send me the email, to my Outlook or, to my desktop, but then I take a look at it and it looks fine, and then I take a look at it on my mobile device and it's a complete disaster. Okay, so you really need to be testing and looking at different devices and how your email and how people engage in that email. And that's some of the things we're going to talk about in these final couple slides. So first off, you really need to think about the platforms that you're sending to. Let me ask, a lot of the audience here, how often do you do it, or how often have you seen that you have your logo at the very top, some large hero image, and that's the first third of your email? Well, the reality is Outlook's default setting, the premier business email provider, default setting is to block images. So if your whole first third of your email is images, guess what somebody's seeing in their preview pane? A blocked image. Okay, so it's really important to keep that in mind with Outlook. And we've already touched upon it before. Gmail really hates large images in their in emails and treats them as stuff. Now, even though I'm saying Gmail, it doesn't necessarily need to be dclemon@gmail.com. There is a lot of companies that use Gmail as their email solution. So it's still dclemon at LSC Digital, but Gmail's the software we're using for our email. So it's really important to keep that in mind, is that image to text ratio. And then, like we talked about a couple of times, really test your emails on mobile devices, tablets, see what they look like across multiple devices. Is the button large enough? Can I read that text without having to zoom in? Seeing what the experience is